welcome back to the channel. So this is now episode 3, which in episode 2 I did tell you that I was looking for a donor car, but I couldn't seem to find anything. Well, after speaking with a few friends, I ended up finding a lead on something. Of course, it's not what I wanted. Not what I wanted at all. But after doing some research, it looks like it might be good for a smart car. The thing is, I'm used to Hondas. This is no Hondas. I'm used to GM stuff, so I wouldn't mind a Cobalt SS or something. This ain't no Chevrolet. What is it? Well, it's a 2.4 liter. It's 6-speed manual. LSD transmission. So see, good. Kind of smells and looks like a K-Series, right? But it's not. So let's just cut to the chase and show you what I found. But wait, before we actually move on, please make sure to like, share, subscribe. If you want some merch, check out Facebook, send us a message, Fueled by Haters Custom, and we'll get it to you. Right now, the COVID-19 stuff, we're a little short on supplies if you want a hoodie, but we do have some t-shirts in stock and some hoodies in stock. Not a whole lot, but send us a message. $20 for a shirt, $40 for a hoodie, and it kind of helps us pay for a little portion of these builds. A really small portion. So, back at it. Make sure you subscribe because we're still seeing pretty low numbers of subscriber rate. We see a lot of views. A lot of you are not subscribed. Click subscribe. Share it with your friends. So, here it is. Coupe. Kia. So it's the Korean version of the K-Series. It's got 180 horsepower. It's manual 6-speed. And yeah, it needs work. It needs power steering, power steering pump. I'm not using power steering pumps, but that's good. It also needs a clutch slave cylinder, which that's fine. Right now, it still runs and drive. You can pump the clutch and it works, so not too bad. I made a deal with the owner. He wants to fix another one that he's got, so he's getting all the body panels back. I'm just taking what I need. So works out for us. We'll be able to get a cheap drivetrain in the smart car. Let's take a look at the drivetrain real quick. So it's got a nice pantyhose air intake. Doesn't look too good. And this is the engine. 2.4 liter, 16 valve. Really simple. Not too much different than a Honda, I guess. Still runs good. I did a little burnout in the garage just to see how it worked. Of course, there's no e-brakes. I couldn't do much. Underneath looks pretty solid. Subframe is good, which is one of the main things. So yeah, again, not necessarily what I wanted, but at the end of the day, it's gonna work. We'll make it work. So now it's time to take some panels apart. First, what I'll do is I'll take all the panels off. I don't want to damage it. It's a deal that I have with the owner. So I'll give him back all of this stuff and I'll just take what I need. As far as the wiring on the inside, we'll go dive into that afterwards. I want to slim up the harness a little bit. There's way too many wires that I don't need. I don't need heated seats off of that. I don't need signal lights. I don't need anything. I need the ignition for the immobilizer, and that's about it. I need the fuel pump, so I'll take the fuel pump out of it, and then the whole front cut. Oof. That's pretty much it. So now let's take some pieces off and see what we can do. It's getting warm out here. So as you can see in the background, fenders are off, front clip is off, the doors are off. Remove the doors simply because I gotta go inside and determine what wiring I need and what I don't need, clean it all up because I don't want a big bunch of wires everywhere in the small car. It's so small that can't hide all the wires, but I'll show you around of what it looks like. So it is a pretty wide car. The subframe is what we'll use. We'll change that to make solid mounts because I don't want any rubber mounts on it. Just want it solid. And this mount here is on the body, so we'll have to do a mount for that. This one's on the body as well, so we'll have to do a mount for this. And then there's a mount down here, which we'll be using. It's not so bad right now. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of wiring in these things compared to some of the cars that I've worked with, so hopefully it goes pretty easy when we put it in a smart car. I did measure the length, and I think we're gonna be sticking out with those wheels around 3 inches each side compared to the stock. So that's not really good, but at least we've got these that we'll try to put on. With this one, it does have big brakes because it's the Forte Coupe EX or whatever it's called. I might need to go to Kenny Upel and pick up a set of the normal Kia brakes and rotors and then slam it on there so we can actually fit those small wheels on here. So back at it, we'll remove more stuff and then I'll get back to you. Oh, well, I guess one thing I could do is I could start it up. I guess I could have started it up if I could find the keys. And I don't have the keys. I'll be back in a sec. All right, found the keys. So as you can see, it says door open. Door is not really open at all. Like, she runs really well. She's got 178,000 kilometers on it. Not too bad for an old Kia. Called it the Korean K24. All right, enough of this. Few more minutes have passed by and here's where I'm at. I didn't take anything apart here at all. I'm mostly into the interior because I'll need to figure out the wiring of it. I took the seats out because A, it was a lot easier to move around in the car, and B, the guy that I made a deal with the car wanted his seats back. So here she is. A little more to go. Once everything is out, then I'll be able to concentrate on the wiring, see what I need, see what I don't need, and yeah, the fun continues. So I forgot to film a little bit, but here's where I'm at now. I took apart some of the interior wiring. Whew, this is not a Honda. There's a shit ton of wiring. Hopefully we can get this figured out and make a smaller harness. The engine is out somewhat. Just need to remove the shifter linkage and then hopefully that will come out. Then all I will need to do is remove the wiring, remove the pedals, remove the fuel pump, or a little few random pieces, and then this thing can go back to where it came from. So I'll give you an update once this is out. Well, apparently it's super cold. That's what Justin said. But it's pretty warm is what I'm feeling. Everything is out. So, engine is there. Complete assembly. Shifter, ECU, intake. All that stuff is off. And I'll show you a little walk around of the engine. So this is her. Obviously a bunch of wiring. These struts, I don't know. I'd like to find something a little smaller. This is pretty wide to fit in the smart car. It'll be interesting to see how this will work. It's pretty much the same width as what a Accord is and Acura TSX and what Slowerproms used, so technically I could make it work. Just gonna be a lot of cutting. So I'll catch you back in the morning. Right now it's getting a little late. I gotta clean the garage, make sure everything is tidy, and then tomorrow this goes back to the junk. We'll say the junk. I don't know what the owner is gonna do with it. He wanted to keep that after I took everything off, so whatever. You can have at it. And then I'll fill the interior of that with all sorts of junk metal that I got in the backyard. That way it's gonna clean me up. And yeah. So, catch you in the morning. All right, welcome back. It's the next morning. Well, for you, it's the next second. So we'll go over what I see, what can be problems. There are gonna be some problems for sure. So let's go over that. So as you can clearly tell, the suspension will definitely be an issue. So yes, right now it's not at the proper height. It's just thrown there. I'll need to jack it up, make a platform to make sure everything's nice and straight. Get stuff all welded and mocked up so I can put the subframe and whatnot. But the engine's gonna come out of this subframe anyways when I start putting the subframe into where it actually needs to go. So, as you can tell, that's gonna be an issue. So I was trying to figure out yesterday when I was sleeping. Yeah, I think when I sleep. How am I gonna make this work? So there are a few scenarios. So I put a feeler out for some coilovers. I don't care the make, model, and whatnot. I can adapt them. EM2 Civic coilovers might work the best. Here's the reasoning behind it. See these two bolts? Well, the Civic uses the same setup. I only need to use the bottom bolt because I will put the bottom bolt, I'll tilt it back, and then probably end up doing an extension. So the coilover will be this way instead of straight. So that might be a solution. The other solution, well, one other thing is I want to do like an upper control arm of some sort because there's not much to this. So the steering rack's going to go, and these are going to be mounted in the middle, threaded on, just so we can still use this to adjust the toe and whatnot. There's no upper control arm, so that I want to do because the strut controls pretty much everything, which will still work if we use an EM2 coilover. But I still got to go to Kenny Upol, figure out what kind of setup I can use off of other cars, just to basically tilt it. Then it should work. So that's the main issue. As far as the width, I already knew it was going to be a lot wider. But we'll live with that. We'll buy some over fenders, make it look like a wide body. So the next step will actually be to pull this off, put everything level the way it should be, all straight, because right now, as you can see, one wheel's cockeyed, the other one's, yeah. And then obviously right now it's tilting this way, so the engine actually will be a little tilted back on that way. So we're still gonna be a longer wheelbase, which we knew from the start, so nothing really to cry home about. But yeah, that's the thing. So I want to do solid mounts here, and we'll make some mounts for the upper motor mounts, and then we should be all set to somewhat throw it back in. This will conclude it for this episode. We stripped apart the engine, we put it under the smart car to see how far we'll be from having it fit. Am I 100% sure I want to use this swap? So, not 100%. Reason why I say that is I got a lead on what might be a 3.2 liter Honda, so a lot less wiring. I can figure that out a lot quicker than this Korean K-Series. And it's got a 6-speed transmission, 3.2 liter V6. Thinking about it. Well, we'll see what the guy comes up with a price if he wants to sell it, and then we'll make the decision afterwards. Then that means that we'll have a swap to do something else, maybe a go-kart of some sort. Another smart car? I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. Make sure to share, like, subscribe. Hopefully you like this series. And yeah. But before we leave, here's actually what the car looks like now. So I filled it up with all sorts of scrap metal I had here. Makes it a lot easier to move stuff. And I put all the headlights in the back so that doesn't get damaged. Seats are still in the garage, but that is what the old Kia Forte looks like now. It's a shame, it was a pretty nice car, but who needs a Kia anyways?